Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Oilers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Oilers. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. Had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Albert Wilson, 72 yards. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native, Oregon Duck product. Of course, that's Marcus Mariota.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Mariota. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. Now Lewis here on first down. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down. And let's run through the Dolphins defense.
One of the more underrated yet valuable positions in the NFL is safety, and Rashad Jones epitomizes what you're looking for. A guy who can drop down into the box in the run game and tackle those bigger, stronger running backs. He can also cover people, whether it's tight ends or bigger slot guys, and that gives him the ability to stay on the field every down and make big plays.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
No, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position. A couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter and maybe flip the field position for their defense.
Showed some flash on the run, but he will be brought down shy of his 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Terrell Casey doesn't get the attention that he deserves, but he is an absolutely terrific defensive tackle, the best player on just about any team he would play on.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now a handoff for Dre. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Here comes Grant on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now out comes Houston. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
He may try and run for this. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Beating him there with his legs. 21 yards, 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. From the shotgun, it's a give to McCoy. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there. Now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality.
And McCoy loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll sneak it with Mariota. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Well, they gave it a shot. Quarterback sneak. Not able to get it.
No, but if you're going to call a QB sneak on 3rd down, you draw it up to get it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Maybe they were thinking 4-down territory.
Able to convert on 4th to bring up 1st and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there.
Here we go, D.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A 4-yard touchdown run. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything in the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith. Actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
These two teams all tied after one. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw now on 1st down. And this one caught by Cameron Brain. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Tight down. There you go.
2nd and long. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys...
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, it's his first career game, and now he has thrown his first career interception.
So let's face it, that's very simply his welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it?
Get it out of the way, right?
Get it out of the way, and he hopes it'll be the last for this game and not too many in his career.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the 22, Mariota over the middle here to Brown. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Mike Daniels able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he locates Walker, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. And avoids the contact by sliding. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
From the red zone now, Mariota. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got
taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenny Stills, 37 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. To throw Mariota. And it's knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, you're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Running from the shotgun with Dre. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He'll look to throw. On the left side, this is Stills. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good pick up there of 20 yards. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Catch made right side by Wilson. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville. And that one just before halftime, with the Jaguars out on top. Nick Foles with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Kirk Cousins has fired 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Traquan Smith, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And this offense on third down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. It's complete to Graham. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. But he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On play action, Mariota. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On 2nd down now, it's Barnes. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He gets it to Brown, complete. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. And they're going to speed things up here. Mariota on first down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, but it'll be second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On second down, it's McCoy. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Mariota now. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 14-yard touchdown. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
So that drive, 12 plays in length, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now after the false start, here's second and 7. They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He'll get 3 up to midfield. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a completion to Wilson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Called out a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside at 2 minutes to go now in the third.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even the
Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, 35 yards. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run, making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle, no running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by an Isaiah Crowell touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Throwing is Mariota, escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Play action now. Mariota. And he rifles one incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over in your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And his guys are going to have the football back as the third quarter comes to an end. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high, the tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
2nd and 6. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown.
I'm most likely going to post B too soon.
Sanders on for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins.
But it's Logan Ryan, so maybe he regressed from last year.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The coverage animations this year.
And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down and 4, Mariota, and this one's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Mariota. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Yeah.
A first down throw for Mariota. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
He'll give you the values. It's pretty straightforward.
So now first and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43.
Just make sure to report.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Okay.
Mariota to throw it this time. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he slides to avoid the hit.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short game when he took off running.
And Davis with it left side. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can. Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Push him back. Push him back.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Certainly not what the offense wanted down here, going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, look who got involved. I mean, when you got a strong safety who can drop into the box, never needs an invitation to be one of those guys in run defense, does he? Wakes up every morning just a little bit ticked off.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
First and goal, and they got to be... Thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Where are they, team?
Working out of the gun, Mariota. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A.J. Brown there to make the grab. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, it's Drake. And he will be stopped here for no gain, and then it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Right back to Drake. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Returnable for Grant. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
They'll look to throw. And here he's got Grant.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. Walker with a grab, left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The 30. The 20, 10, and this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Mariota now to throw on first down. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Maybe one more value to change
from the shotgun. It's Mariota. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
He was covered by Rashad Jones.
Hi everyone. Okay.
Here now is 2nd and 10 again from the 41. One last shot now for Mariota. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football, where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Dolphins, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, Esco, give me about 1-0. Oh okay, I played against Dolphins. Josh Rosen had insane stats, 2730, 347 passing yard with 3 TD and no ints. No problem, just post in the thread when ready. Josh Rosen has no superstar acolytes, WTF, he had insane stats. Yeah, it's an issue overall with the separation. paired up to very stupid coverage bugs. Clint need take a look at that issue. I thought Clint want feedbacks from people who played beta and sent a lot feedbacks to Clint about pass. Agreed, I'm compiling enough video for him to see. Good example there, Esco. Yeah, but Clint don't care about fans, he want money who buy his game. SMH. If it affects everyone, Sim Competitive Arcade, it will affect him. Yeah, I thought Clint said he and his dev team clean up more issues every week, but passing coverage issue is still there.